And we are live at the Speed. What an exciting time of day, because nobody's here today except for us little chickens and a lot of security. There is a lot of security in this building. I feel the presence of one of them. Hello. Okay, well, Christian, according to his name tag, is obviously going to be keeping an eye on us.
We feel secure.
Probably gotten the word, right? You think he's found out about me already? So
Probably.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for being here. And Stephen Bowling, you are absolutely wonderful. Thank you for letting us come in today.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you, Caroline Johnson and Mary Kay Korfhage with Twisted Pink. And this is going to be a really fun event. And we're having it here because this is where the event is going to take place.
That's right.
I love it. Talk to me a little bit about what Twisted Pink is.
Twisted Pink is a nonprofit organization that I founded in June of 2014 after my personal experience with breast cancer.
Wow.
And our mission is to extend lives and improve quality of life for late-stage breast cancer patients by funding stage 4 research.
Stage 4 is the worst.
Yes.
And you came through it apparently with flying colors.
Well, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer a little over 5 years ago. And so I continue to take medicine to prevent my cancer from returning. But I live with the knowledge that I have a 20 to 30% chance that that could happen, in which case I would be stage 4 metastatic, facing a metastatic diagnosis. And women and men that face metastatic breast cancer or any metastatic cancer are facing a terminal illness. Mm-hmm. So doctors today will do the best they can to keep you alive and have a good quality of life for as long as they can. But the reality with breast cancer is that once you're diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, the average length of survival is 2 to 3 years. So we want to do more to increase funding to research because sadly only 7% of research dollars go to metastatic disease, which is why Twisted Pink was
Of all
started.
cancer?
Breast cancer.
Of breast cancer only?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible when you stop to think about it. And you know, brain cancer has seemed to be on the uprise in recent years. I've had more people whose family members have been dying of brain cancer than I have ever experienced in my life, just in the last couple of years. So research is constant, and Louisville seems to be a hotbed of research on so many different medical levels. I mean, we have outstanding hand surgery with Coots and Kleinert, and we've had, the artificial heart was developed here with Dr. DeVries, and we had, all these amazing doctors who are doing so many different things, and cancer's been around for such a long time. You'd think that by now we would have made far more strides than we had in that particular regard.
Yes, well, I think part of it is that it's going to take billions of dollars, and not enough is going to research that end-stage disease. We put a lot of money into prevention and education about breast cancer, but not enough is going to save lives with metastatic. And how do we stop metastatic breast cancer from happening? How do we extend the lives of the patients that are living with metastatic breast cancer? A lot of it's going to be development of new drugs, new ways, novel ideas to keep women and men alive a lot longer, and less toxic treatments.
How many billions of dollars are we talking?
I don't know.
As many as we can find.
As many as we can.
Yeah. I know where we could find $5.7 billion. But we'll talk about that in another show. Stephen Bowling, thank you for letting us come in and use this beautiful facility, the Speed. And tell me what the event's going to look like.
It's going to be beautiful. And first of all, thank you for hosting your event here. It's a great cause, and we hope that it raises a ton of money. So the nice thing about the new space is that it can be transformed in whatever your fantasy, whatever your desire is. We've had many events here after hours, which we talked about.
I love that.
Which is great. So that is every third Friday, and then we do creative mornings, and so we bring lots of folks from the community around. So we really appreciate you coming in and doing your event. So the nice thing is you can use the atrium of the Grand Hall. You can turn it into dinners, and then you can have lounge spaces. So it's really whatever the client wants.
Well, and I think what's coolest about this, you've been here since before the closing.
2012,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you came in. They closed down for 3.5 years. What did you do for 3.5 years? Did they pay you?
All of the research, yeah. So really we wanted it to be a new speed art museum. We really wanted it to be more welcoming and open. You see the architecture really features the openness as well. So our brand is very bright, very similar to the color that you have on right now. And so we just really wanted it to be a community hub and change the sort of perception of museums being in ivory towers.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
Art is for everyone.
It's beautiful, and the best part about this place is that, you know, when you walk in the doors, you're confronted by all this wonderful stuff that has to do with the speed, and there's educational and there's fun and so many different things, which Christian here has been guarding, obviously, to keep me from
We're quite safe.
taking anything away with me because the cash register's not closed. As if I ever would, Christian, okay, really, seriously. But, and if you have to go do work elsewhere, you feel free to go, and he'll keep an eye on me. Don't
yes,
worry.
ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. He's a good Southern boy. I love it. So tell me, Caroline, about your role in this whole Twisted Pink, because you are a great mouthpiece for the organization. You start getting in touch with people months early. We've had this on the books for several months, and I'm so glad that we could make it happen.
I just personally?
I said Mary Kay.
That's okay.
I said Caroline.
That's what the
But this is Mary
bronchitis
Kay.
does.
Yeah.
I know. I've only known her for 30 years.
Because
but
I'm
anyway.
happy to answer that.
Yeah, you
but
go
we
ahead.
can let
Mary
her
Kay,
break.
you go.
Probably longer than that.
go.
We were 5 though.
This is
so.
true. This is true.
Actually, I have known Caroline since she was a little girl.
Aw.
So when she was diagnosed and then subsequently started this, just got involved a little bit, just attending the Masquerade ball and interested. And then my friend Debbie Scopecchio, my
Yes.
former boss,
Yes.
she survived with metastatic breast cancer 11 years, which
She did.
definitely beats the odds.
Yeah.
But I watched everything she went through, and so when she passed away, I had been starting to volunteer with Caroline and join the board as a way for me to honor her and to honor her life and what she meant to so many of us. And we miss her every single day.
Yes. A life force was sucked from this earth.
Totally. I go to text her all the time when something funny happens or want to send her funny, but definitely a big life force and not just in business, but she helps so many nonprofits and so
talent.
many women.
She gave me one of my very first radio voiceover jobs.
See, there you
from
go.
Creative Alliance.
Yeah. So I got involved, and we're just trying to promote the Masquerade Ball and everything else that Twisted Pink is doing to raise awareness and raise funds. And I find it exciting that a lot of our dollars stay here in Louisville, at the University of Louisville and James Graham Brown, and we fund research here in Louisville, trying to extend lives and just lend what we can to extend lives and make people's lives better. And I always think about, I think the war on cancer was declared the year I was born.
Wow.
And I'm right about your age.
Yeah, we won't reveal what
We
that is
won't
either.
say it.
We won't say a word. When you are talking about any kind of disease, I mean, the word cancer strikes fear into your heart immediately. Whether it's you're at the dermatologist and they say, oh, well, you've got a little squamous cell, and you're thinking squamous cell. Oh, yeah, it's cancer. Basal cell, cancer. Melanoma, cancer. And then, you move into the animal kingdom. Oh, this is a mast cell tumor, cancer. And then you get into, what women have to go through with ovarian and breast cancer and uterine cancer. And, the guys have their own set of issues. And then we've all got the uniform lung and brain, and God almighty, it's like, where did it come from? And how long is it going to take before we can get rid of it? And that's why awareness is so important. Number one, early detection is extremely important. And one of the things that you guys are doing with Twisted Pink is you are enabling people to learn more and raise more funds for the kind of research that you can only dream of. I mean, seriously, with the amount of money you're talking about, this is going to just happen year after year after year across the globe.
Right. I would like to say that no cancer is easy. It doesn't matter what stage you're diagnosed.
Right.
Every stage of cancer is both emotionally difficult and physically difficult to go through. So with Twisted Pink, I want to, bring those gaps together, especially in the breast cancer community. There's a lot of almost competition between breast cancer survivors and metastatic patients, like who has the tougher road. And what I would like to see happen in that community is that we come together and support one another. I really don't understand why for the past 30 years survivors have not been putting these women and men who are dying of breast cancer at the front of the pink ribbon and saying enough is enough. Like, we're tired of this, like, let's do something about it. That's what we saw with the HIV/AIDS epidemic. People stood up and said, we're not going to stand for this, and look how far we've come.
That's right.
In such a short time.
That's right.
You know, you don't hear of people dying of AIDS like they were 20 years ago. So that's what I would like to see with cancer.
Yeah.
Well, and breast cancer in particular.
I would like to see it disappear.
Yes.
And it's going to be a long, hard fight for us to be able to make that happen. So many of us know people who have had cancer, if we haven't had it ourselves. And I bet you can draw up, you know, in about 2 seconds what you have experienced in your own families.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was just diagnosed 3 weeks ago, and she just had a double mastectomy, and she started her chemo last week, and she's going to lose her hair, she's going to do all the things, she lost her breast, and she's a wonderful woman. So thank you for the work.
Yeah.
It's hard, but somebody's got to pick it up, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what the word metastatic really meant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not talked about. And even in the breast cancer world, I feel like it's kind of swept under the rug and kind of not talked about.
Body parts are so difficult.
Right.
You know, I mean, nobody wants to say body parts out loud.
Well, the word metastatic is hard to pronounce.
Yes,
It's true.
So stage 4 is easier for people to understand.
Right.
But when someone is diagnosed with metastatic disease, that means that their breast cancer has moved from their breast to another organ in the body that's life-threatening.
Right.
It's either the lung, the liver, the brain, or your bones.
Yep.
And typically, and you know, it's not considered brain cancer. It's considered metastatic breast cancer if it goes to your brain, but it originally started in the breast. So that's where people don't really understand the disease.
Right.
Because I hear a lot of times people say, oh, she had breast cancer, but now she has brain cancer. Well, it's still breast cancer, but it's in the brain.
Well, my friend Sue Knable, who's been on the show a number of times, has had several different cancers in her abdomen. And then my chiropractor gets diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer a few weeks ago. He figured it out. He pretty much knew what was wrong. And now he's taking on an alternative therapy in Mexico, which is something that, you know, many people don't pursue other alternatives. They do what the doctors tell them, and they do it successfully, and they survive. And so he's exploring alternatives, which I really respect, but it's also very scary because you know what you know, and you want to try to give people the very best of all the possible treatments. And so we've got all this information coming at us, and I can only imagine what it was like for you, hearing those words and then having 500,000 people telling you what you should do.
Yes.
And how did you decide what you should do?
Well, I made it very personal for me and my family. And, you know, I took my sister-in-law with me to my initial doctor visits as a note taker. She was a nurse. And,
Wise.
Yeah, so she was, when you go to these original visits, you hear the doctor, but when you leave, you don't hear the doctor.
No.
So it's really wise to take somebody with you that can take those notes and kind of go back over them with you. And then, you know, we got second opinions.
Yeah.
We did not just go with what the first doctor told us.
Which is not offensive.
Right.
To good
well,
doctors.
Good doctors should encourage you to get a second opinion.
They should.
And, you know, we went with who we were comfortable with as a family. And, you know, I continued throughout my cancer journey doing my own research. And even after I finished my treatment, I continue to do research on my own and read and learn from other patients and patient advocates. And, it's really important for people to take control of their diagnosis by being their own advocate.
Self-advocacy.
Yes.
We want to say hi to some of the folks who are watching, and I'm so glad we've got a nice crowd. Alan Miller's here. Mary Kay Korfhage is watching.
I'm watching.
I love
sharing,
that.
I hope.
And,
I hope
and
I'm
Wendy
sharing.
Lovelace and Brad Leedy, who is checking in on me from Bridgehaven to make sure I'm feeling okay because I couldn't go to work today. So I worked from home this morning. Michael Lawler, Leslie Adams, Mari Eiserman, one of my classmates from Oregon is watching. She's a faithful friend. David and Janet Hedrick, Barbara Powers, Marlon Gaines, my dear friend Gail Sinclair, who beat me for senior class vice president, deservedly so, and who's been one of my greatest supporters and friends throughout what I've experienced. Brenda Davison, Ed Jutt, April Renee, Julie Crutcher. Hey, April's our property manager. That's pretty cool. Laura Gutig, Ross is watching.
Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Courtney Emhoff says, this is incredible. So grateful for each of you and your voices. Sean Sinnott,
We need to say what we're doing.
Well, you better. And Glenda Poole Atkins is watching, who is the founder of the Forgotten Furniture, which provides furniture to folks who are coming in off the street for their new apartments. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you.
Cool.
And I'll call you out. So here's why I wanted to read those to you. Mary Kay's keeping track of who's watching today. And why, Mary Kay?
Because anyone that comments, I'm writing your name down, putting in this bag, and then Caroline will draw at the end of the hour. And we're giving away 2 tickets to the lounge, which means you get to come at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, which is the dance-only portion of the event, and it includes open bar.
Yes,
Oh.
and it's quite the party if you've never been to Masquerade Ball. It's a party, and this year at this beautiful facility, I'm just in awe walking through here all the time. I'm a U of L alumni, very proud, but it wasn't like this when I was here. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful space, and you get to see part of the museum, which is a bonus. But anyway, let us know you're watching.
It's on the 26th of January, right?
January 26th
of January.
And
Perfect.
But just comment that you're watching. We'd love for you to share so more people know about it, might buy tickets. But it's a great, fun event, and it's an informative event, and not one you will soon forget. So let us know you're watching.
So Courtney has commented.
Courtney
Good job,
has
Courtney.
commented.
Way to
you
go.
You are going in the bag.
So it's not enough for you to just show up, guys.
Nope,
you have to say
comment,
something. And if you say something, you will be able to join the party. I mean, the big party. There's going to be a party, and then there's going to be a party.
And those are $75 tickets each, so it's $150 value.
See, Glenda, fun information. Glenda, you take directions so well. I'm so proud of you. She's one of the greatest homeless advocates in this city. And we really appreciate her. As a matter of fact, she just took the job at the St. John Center for managing the new storage facility that is going to be made available for folks who are homeless to keep their possessions so they don't get turned away from shelters.
It's
because of the people's partners, the pets, partners, and possessions rules. You know, and those are the 3 hardest things to overcome. So, thank you, Glenda. We love you and appreciate you. Yep,
Glenda's
you're in the bag, baby. You have to take me as your date. That's the thing.
No strings attached, except
No strings attached, except you have to take me as your date. Courtney, you too. So who else is David Pate's watching? Hey, David. Whoever else wants to put their name in the bag, you have to comment. So do so, please. Just to remind everybody, Mary Kay Korfhage is with us. She is one of the board members of Twisted Pink. This wonderful lady, Caroline Johnson, is a cancer survivor who founded this event several years ago and has made it into a tremendous staple of the Louisville social scene as well as the awareness scene, and has raised money for research that people would not be able to raise were it not for this particular event. And this dude over here, that guy's gone, thank God. Stephen Bowling. Let's just make sure he doesn't come back for a while. Stephen Bowling is here, and he's now guarding me. We had a security guard here earlier, very muscular young man, watching, making sure that I didn't take any of the fabulous art out the door with me. But we're at U of L at the Speed School and the Speed Art Museum. See, it's the medicine. I'm telling you. I know that's Mary Kay.
This is much more fun than Speed School.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord,
yeah.
This is really fun, and the Speed Art Museum has now been reopened for 3 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, going on 3 in March.
It seemed like a huge amount of time that it was shut down, but it really actually probably flew by for you.
Yeah, so what we were able to do is we were able to complete the entire master plan in 3.5 years instead of 10. We were able to raise $60 million in that short amount of time. Thankfully, We had some really large donors at the
Yes.
end and built our Speed Cinema. That was sort of the last phase of the master plan.
That's one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
of this is the
Oh.
movies, the unique movies.
And
Like
Dean
Wendy
does
Whalen's
great,
movie.
very social justice oriented, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Wendy Whalen's movie.
Yep.
I saw it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, well, because I love Wendy Whalen.
Of course.
I worship at the altar of Wendy Whalen.
We
She's
all do.
the greatest ballerina in the world. And I think that one of the cool things about the Speed is that you have a big variety of interest. I mean, it's not your grandfather's Speed Museum anymore. There's something in it, and you see the children. Tiny little children.
It'll probably be coming through any minute
Oh, good.
for Global Game Changers.
Oh, what's that?
So Global Game Changers is a program that we're partnering with this year. We take 2 schools, and it's an entire year. I found out, I thought it was 1 semester, but it's an entire year's program where they come twice a week, and we work with them in our galleries. There's a curriculum that they work with, but it's about an hour and a half every day, or twice a week for the entire school year.
Now, where are they coming from? Public schools?
Yes, public schools, and I think they're Title I schools, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Great.
So yeah, they're
what
fun.
a great opportunity for them.
There's nothing better to walk into the galleries and see the little kids
Yeah,
everywhere
I
on their,
know.
doing their little crisscross applesauce. And
Yes.
sweet.
Well, that's what I love when I come down here is the variety of people, and then the after hours at the Speed, as we said earlier, is one of my favorite things because you come and see everybody that you know. This is like Cheers
This Friday.
on after hours at the Speed night. Everybody in Louisville shows up, and it's just it's a great way to get to walk through after you've been in the socialization area. You get to walk through the museum and see it at your own leisure, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful environment. And you picked this year, right? Is this the first time it's
This
here?
is the first time we've had it at the Speed.
Yeah.
We like to travel our event. Our very first year we had it at the Gillespie, and then we had it there a second year. We moved it to the Olmsted for a year, and then last year we're at the Seelbach,
Yes.
and now we're at the Speed.
I love it. You've chosen all the great event venues.
Yeah.
Rebecca Eves just tuned in.
Oh, well,
She
she's
says,
got
hello,
to
everyone.
comment. Did she
Yeah,
comment?
Rebecca, if you win these lounge tickets, got to take me. Baxter can just stay at home. Take care of the dogs. Rebecca Eves of the Aero Fund, of course, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be, I think, your best of all venues.
I hope so.
The parking is great.
Yes.
Even if
Parking's
it's
great.
raining. I came in here for something. I don't remember what we came in here for, but my God, it was the day of the monsoon a few months ago. And we all parked in the garage, and they had umbrellas being run back and forth. You probably had one. They were running
Speed
back
umbrellas.
back and forth across the plaza here, and it was so cool because you'd get taken under an umbrella, brought to the door, taken back to the garage.
Oh.
And it's inexpensive, and it's
That's great.
extremely convenient.
Yes.
Well, and I
Good
love
job.
that they have the cafe here.
Yeah,
well,
we'll
sure.
try.
Then you just make it an afternoon or a day to come and spend some time. We were fortunate enough, or I was fortunate enough to come tag along with Caroline to do the tasting for the dinner.
Of course you were.
And she can tell you about the meat
Hirschberg's the
option,
bomb.
but I got to sample 2 different vegetarian options,
Yes.
which anybody that is coming to the dinner can request vegetarian. And I mean, they were both so delicious. I mean, I had to take them home and let my husband have some, and I'm still torn. Which one? But I chose. It's this delicious lentil. I can't remember the actual name, but it looked like a puff pastry, but it was zucchini, kind of brown and salty. And then you bite into, or you break into it, and lentils just kind of come out, and they're
Magic.
curried, and they're on a plate of vegetables, and so good. So I'm excited about that.
Susan Hirschberg is the bomb. We all know
She
that.
is.
She does a fabulous job. We appreciate her just being a huge part of this particular area, as well as Welch-Run Market and then the cafe in the Highlands. And by the way, Rebecca says you will be my date.
Oh.
Thank God, I've got a date.
That's so nice.
Make sure you pull Rebecca, okay?
She's
Perfect.
in the bag, and there's my sister Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Denise,
You were
Tony
now in the
Hendricks
drawing.
and Teresa Schnurr are watching. We appreciate you. Ricky Wayne Burks, thanks for tuning in, you guys. We're talking about Twisted Pink, and it's a fabulous event that's taking place at the Speed. Stephen Bowling is here to talk about the Speed Museum and this wonderful event space that they have created from the very, very old and needing to be updated building that was
Desperately.
once the Speed Museum, it's now become this fabulous multi-purpose venue that can be used for so many things and host so many wonderful events, one of which is Twisted Pink. So I want to get a rundown of what the whole night is like.
Okay, so the doors will open at 6 p.m. We will have cocktail hour from 6 to 7:30. Dinner program will begin at 7:30. And we have a award that we give each year called the Dace Polk Brown Ambassador Award. And that was started 3 years ago in honor of Dace, who is a breast cancer survivor and also on our board of directors. And we created that award to recognize a breast cancer survivor or somebody in the community that supports the mission of Twisted Pink by advocacy or helping us with volunteering or just whatever they can do to show commitment to research, and specifically metastatic breast cancer research. So last year we had a metastatic patient named Alana Auslander-Price win that award.
I know AP well.
Yes, and this year the award is going to go to Jennifer Alderman, who spoke at our event last year.
Yes.
And Jennifer is from Indianapolis, Carmel area, and so she's coming with an entourage of supporters again this year to receive that award, and we're thrilled to give it to her.
Great.
She is an awesome individual and is battling stage 4 breast cancer. So she has a family, 3 children, and a great story to tell.
That's amazing.
So
what a great
she will
story.
be there. We also have a young lady named Erin Banton who hopefully will be at the event. She's from Traverse City, Michigan, and she's going to tell her personal story with metastatic breast cancer during the dinner. We'll show a video, and we will have a live auction. Of course, a silent auction, which everybody can participate in. Even if you don't come to the event, you can go to our website and get connected to our ticket page and be part of the silent auction. We will have a bourbon pool at the event. So we have over 60 bottles of bourbon that have been donated. One of them is right here by one of our sponsors.
Holy smoke, it's my nephew's favorite bourbon.
So this is a Woodford Reserve bottle of bourbon, and Brown-Forman is one of our sponsors this year.
That's awesome.
As they have been each year from the
Brown-Forman
beginning.
does so much good in this city.
They do. They're awesome. So we're glad to have them on board again for the 5th year.
Do you know what Brown-Forman just did for Bridgehaven Mental Health Services?
I do not.
I'm going to tell you. just to toot Brown-Forman's horn a little bit.
Okay.
They came down on a day of caring. 40-something employees took their day, and they came down and they painted and they landscaped and they did things that needed to be done in this 16-year-old building, which gets a lot of heavy traffic every day, serving people with serious and persistent mental illness, and for which I am very grateful to work part-time. And they came in there with just guns ablaze, and literally they had everything ready to go. They had the blowers, they had the trimmers, they had the cutters, they had the paintbrushes, and they made the place look like just spiffed up. It was great.
That's awesome.
So thank you, Brown-Forman, for
Yes.
that contribution.
Thank you,
and for
Brown-Forman.
sponsoring us. We appreciate it.
They are also donating a tour and a lunch.
Yes. So part of the bourbon pool is you pay $100, you get a bottle of bourbon. Some of these bottles are signed and worth more than others, and one person that purchases a bottle of bourbon will receive a Woodford Reserve Experience VIP tour, tasting, and lunch
At Glenn's
for 6
Creek
people.
Cafe for 6 people. That sounds
That's
wonderful.
at the,
So that's our little twist on our bourbon pool.
I love Twisted Pink.
That's right.
Little twist.
And we have a lot of great items in the silent and live auction.
Good.
And then the evening will conclude.
Tease us with just one.
Do you want the heavy one?
Sure, you can hand me.
Oh, yeah, the one with the fleur-de-lis. That is so cool.
So as you can see, we have
Can you
a
handle
bourbon
that?
theme going
oh,
on
God, she's so strong.
this year. It's very heavy.
Considering that her kids got the flu.
So
That's why we're sitting
Not my
farther
kid, not
away
my
from-
kids.
No,
thank
her
God.
kid.
So this is a hand-painted
That's
bourbon
beautiful.
barrel lid, and it is painted by Michelle No, who is a
Oh,
local artist.
Right.
And we have 2 of these in our auction.
Beautiful.
So this is just, a little sneak peek at some of the items that we'll have. We have a lot of art items this year.
I love
and going
that.
with the theme of the speed. And
Perfect.
the live auction, we actually have a local artist named Tom Powell who works with Norton Healthcare. he will be on site doing a watercolor that will be presented in our live auction.
Cool.
Of the event.
That's
So
really fun.
That's great. And we have a trip to New Orleans, a trip to Utah. We have a Yeti with a lot of surprises in it.
The real Yeti?
A real Yeti cooler.
No, I mean like the abominable.
Yeah.
No.
That was Christian.
That was
real-
Christian.
That
That's
was Christian.
exactly right. That was the guy with the
it's
muscles.
a very large Yeti cooler that has some special prizes in it for our last live auction item of the evening.
And do you know
And-
Stephanie Van Eman Jones?
Yes, kind of.
That is my sister.
So proud to be part of Twisted Pink and help fund metastatic breast cancer. Thanks, Brown Foreman. Bourbon Pool will be amazing. Michelle No is the best. Now let me ask you this question. Who thought of a bourbon pole? That is the coolest idea, and I've seen it at so many events.
And there are some neat bottles, some
Yes.
really neat signed bottles. Bourbon Women have donated
Yes.
some bottles.
Oh, I love Michelle Mandro's concept there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been to some other events that had wine pools.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we came up with
Crazy
the bourbon. and-
Mayhem. You were talking about Tavia Cathcart Brown. She had a bourbon pool at her big Crazy Mayhem
Oh.
fundraiser, and it was fabulous.
And not only do we have a bourbon pool, but we have a jewelry pool. Do you want
Yes,
to tell about
Kendra
that?
Scott is amazing. So she has come on board with our event this year. We're going to have 50 boxes of Kendra Scott jewelry valued between $50 and $250.
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And it's $50 for a pool, and you get a box of Kendra Scott jewelry, and you might get something worth $50. You might get something worth $250.
That's amazing.
So yes.
I love that. Who are all these children who just have arrived? These are big children.
I think these are
Very
the
big
helpers for the
These are
global
the
game.
helpers with the little children. I love that. Are these all students or
Are you guys all students?
who wants to be the spokesperson for the group? Come here. One of you guys come over here for just a
We're on
minute.
Facebook Live.
I knew that it was going to be this one.
Yeah.
All right.
He looks like the guy from Star Wars, doesn't he? The really good looking one? Come here, Star Wars guy. What's your name?
Javier.
Hi, Javier. Tell me what you do here.
So this is Global Game Changers,
Yeah.
and we're an after-school program for some elementary school kids here in Louisville, and they come here after school every day to the Speed, and we have activities for them, and we're learning about how to combine our talents and our heart, our passions, to create our real-life superpower so that we can help people and ignite good in the world.
I love this
Wow.
guy.
Yay,
Wow.
good spokesperson.
What's the name of the Star Wars guy he looks like?
Adam Driver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kylo Ren. Oh, my God. He's a babe. So are you. Thank you so much for explaining that to us. Will you let one of the little monkeys who comes in, one of the little kiddos, stop over?
Sure.
Yeah. Introduce them. That'd be cool.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thanks, Kai.
What are you guys doing?
We're doing an interview with this lovely young lady named Caroline Johnson about metastatic breast cancer fundraising. She's a breast
We're having
cancer
an event
survivor.
here in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday,
We're doing Facebook Live.
January
Yeah.
26th.
And we're Facebook Living it right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very different kind of event. That's a very different event than Global Game Changers.
It
here.
is.
But it's great
all
that
for good, though.
And changing lives. It's changing lives too.
everyone's changing lives,
Yes.
and all underneath the roof of the Speed.
Yeah.
Yay!
There you go. That was a great plug. Good job.
You're welcome.
She's been in advertising. She could probably give you a few tips. You can get in.
Yeah. I know how
Pretty
to.
well on his own.
Nice.
And I'm a graduate from here.
Okay.
And if you don't know Tara, start following her on Facebook because she's been in this business a very long time. She's very innovative and does so much good. I'm plugging you, girl,
That's
because
sweet of you.
seriously,
Thank you.
It's true.
not only do you look great, but
For 70.
pretty good. Wait a minute, I'm almost your age. So no, we are not 70. But
And having
she
bronchitis.
plugs so many nonprofits. She does great things for animals, which I'm really involved in, for now breast
sure
cancer
are.
awareness and for lots of issues, and just very important person in the community of getting the word out. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Let
Thank
me
you
hang
very
on
much.
a minute. I got some money in my back
Yeah.
pocket here. Thank you. So thank you again. What's your real name, seriously?
Javier
What?
Navarro.
Oh, I love that name. That's great. Where do you go to school?
I'm actually not a student here.
No?
I went to school in the University of Washington in Seattle.
Really? I'm
But-
from Oregon.
Where in Oregon?
Portland.
Okay, Portland. Yeah.
We've made a connection already.
I have some friends who are from Portland.
Are they from Beaverton?
No, they're from like city Portland, somewhere in there. Not.
Beaverton's just outside of Portland.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You've probably driven right past my school, St. Mary of the Valley Academy on Tualatin Valley Highway at Murray Boulevard.
Sure.
Okay, good. Thanks, Javier. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Good
Now,
luck,
that young man is adorable. Is he not adorable?
Absolutely.
We have so many adorable people, starting with Stephen Bowling here at the Speed.
The wiser one.
The wiser and more beautiful,
Old
the
one.
sadder but wiser girl for me. That's what they say. And Caroline Johnson of Twisted Pink, Mary Kay Korfhage, longtime advocate in the animal industry, in the animal, whatever we call it. Advocacy, not industry. God, that was a terrible Freudian slip.
Not.
Sounds like we're all doing show dogs or something.
Yes.
No, we're doing advocacy.
She's trying to take the industry out of the animals.
Somebody
Yes.
should take me home right now, because one of those women who just said that I could go be their date for this
Lots have so
event,
far,
come and
actually.
take me home and don't let me talk anymore, because Delsum, all I can tell you is Delsum cough syrup is having a weird effect on me. Let's get back to business.
Let's
What
talk
is
about
that?
this
Okay,
big
let's
flower.
talk about that.
Another thing about our event this year,
It's
we
kind of
have-
stuck. I have it in the chair so it wouldn't fall.
You're
Okay,
never
so
going to
we
forget
have-
this live cast, Caroline.
I'm not. Nor will anybody watching. But
It'll go viral.
but we have
You almost made me spit my water out.
Don't do that.
we have a an awesome company that is building a wall of hope for us this year.
Really?
And so Schaefer Construction and Janet Lively is on our committee to plan the event. So she works for Schaefer Construction, and that's how this came about. But we have 100 of these flowers that we are selling for $100 each. And they will be placed on our wall of hope, along
Beautiful.
with a little tag that says in honor or memory of so-and-so. And so if you make a donation to our organization for at least $100 in honor or memory of someone, that tag will go
beautiful.
on the flower, on our wall of hope, and it will stand behind the stage at our event.
That's beautiful. What a great idea.
Yeah, it's great because we hope to continue to use this wall at other events throughout the year and in future events for Twisted Pink, and it will be it'll continue to provide hope to metastatic breast cancer patients and all breast cancer patients.
So give me an idea of when you come into Twisted Pink, it's a masquerade ball.
It is. It's a themed event.
Does everybody have to wear a masquerade costume to be able to come to this event? What if you're just
No.
not up to the masquerade part?
If you're not up to a mask, you do not have to wear a mask. Some people actually have a mask painted on their face before
that's
the
a
event.
great idea.
Where do they do
So
that?
that's fun. I think some girls went to Sephora last year. Don't quote me
Maybe
on that.
Mac.
Mac might do
Might
it.
do it
See,
for
and
you.
I'm going Caulfields immediately. There's a great artist down there who did
Really?
a zombie face on me for a show one day.
I don't
Yes.
think I'd wear the zombie
No,
face.
but he could
Yeah.
probably do a mask.
You know, one year we had a table set up at
Why?
our event and actually had somebody painting
That's
faces.
cool. There
Yeah.
you go.
So
And
we
you
may,
can also
we may
carry
try to
the
pull
little-
that off again this year. I don't know, but
the mask on the stick, like they use in Masquerade and
I
Phantom
just
of the
bought
Opera.
one at Pier 1.
There you go.
And
So
I
you
have
can
others
just
if
carry it.
anybody needs to borrow one from years
I have a
past.
couple of
but
them
if you
too.
don't
I'll bring
want to
them.
purchase, if you don't want to purchase a mask, we will have extra at the event.
I say
It's
sell them,
not
make more money
necessary.
for breast cancer.
Well, we're kind of tapped out
Oh.
on our sales. We need to put a halt on everything that we're selling right
Just
now.
give it
because-
away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
But we are still selling tickets, and
We are
people
still
can go to
selling
twistedpink.org to get those.
Yes.
And also the silent auction goes live Monday, a week from now.
Yes.
And everybody can be part of that. But
That's the
we would
coolest
love
thing.
to still sell
the
more
online
tickets.
auctions.
Yes.
It's great. I've
How
already
much-
had some people say, I can't come to the event, but I do want to bid on items in your live auction. We have great items. And so that will be available
silent
coming
auction.
Monday of next week. And we'll send out an email and a Facebook message to anybody that's liked our Facebook page when
Yes.
that's available, and
Good.
a link to do that.
Good.
We can put it on your page too if you
Yes,
want.
absolutely.
And then,
All of my pages.
yeah.
Now,
It's
you
gonna
said
be a
live
fun
auction.
night.
Right now, I'm going to ask you to do two things who are watching. First of all, please share this broadcast, as ridiculous as it is because of me being on medicine. Share this broadcast to other pages so people can get an idea of what Twisted Pink is all about and learn more about cancer from a survivor. And also, if you would, comment, because Mary Kay's keeping track
Yes.
of all of your comments, and she's putting your name in a bag, and you might win 2 lounge tickets. And I see somebody here who just might want one. Laura Malillo Barnum has tuned in.
Ah,
Oh, I know
Tommy
Laura.
Richardson, Michael Owings, Shelley Carpenter, Philip Cherry, Amber Clark from the main event. All are watching, and all can be, if you will comment. Oh, Artie Ortega just tuned in from Bridgehaven too. Brenda Jackson, Bev Wethington, thank you guys. Yeah, make a comment and your name goes in the bag, and you might win 2 lounge tickets, which are worth $75 a piece.
Yes, and it's
pretty
a
nice.
party.
Yeah, and that's going to take place at 9.
That
after
opens
the big
at
event.
9 o'clock.
Okay.
And our silent auction stays open till 10. Kudmani is our band again this year. They are incredible.
Sammy's
They
great.
are.
Yes, they're incredible.
Wear your dancing shoes.
Wear your dancing shoes. The whole front atrium will be band, cocktail tables, dance
Awesome.
floor,
Awesome.
and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be a lot of fun.
Such a great space at night too.
Yes.
Take a nap.
Yes.
Yeah,
Disco
get
nap.
your sleep. So it starts at 6 though.
Starts at 6.
That's the best part.
The full event
Oh,
starts at 6 p.m.
I see the bus pulling up. It
The
could
bus
get
is
very
pulling
loud.
up. So
It
we're
could
going to
get
have
very
a
loud.
cutie come join
For
us,
just
right?
a few minutes, we're going to have a cutie come join us, and then after we're done with that, we're going to talk some serious stuff because last year, you guys, you know what I just realized? You two were my very first live
We
on
were.
location Facebook livecast last
We
year
were.
at
Wow.
Against the Grain.
Yep.
We set it up in this beautiful big bar area, and it has the beer making things up there, whatever. And we had this great shot of these two, and then we had the baby goats come in.
I remember that.
That was
I'm
so
a
much
fan.
fun.
We were a
had
little
Nulu.
upstaged
Love
by the
baby
baby goats, I
goats.
think.
Oh, they were so cute, and
But-
they were having Nulu Fest and the Bach Fest, and then they got rained out anyway. But the baby goats were a great hit. They
cute.
followed. They were a hard act to follow. They
Yes.
followed Caroline and her great story. Caroline does have a great story, and I'm not going to let her tell it till after all the munchkins have arrived because they will make, I'm sure, a tremendous amount of noise
bus
as
is
they
here.
come in. But
Yes.
you know what? That's the best part. And the reason that we're having them in, I'm going to have Stephen talk about that again, is Global Game Changers.
Yep, it's a program that teaches kids to be inspired and find their superhero, their power, and to do good
So
in this
cute.
world, as Javier said.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren earlier. And it's amazing. So we host them here twice a week for the entire year.
That's such a great
Yeah.
opportunity.
They play in the galleries, they learn about art, they learn about themselves and how to make this community a better place. So we're happy to have them. It's all about the new speed.
I like that.
Yeah.
And what is one of the most effective ways to communicate with children about that terrible, terrible word that so many of them have had to learn in recent times?
You know, I always say, especially with my children, I said,
They're here.
you remain hopeful, and we have hope through research.
Yes.
And that's our mission, is to fund that research that's going to extend the lives of patients. And you have to keep it on their level, and just listen to them and let them ask the questions. Don't give them too much information.
Yeah, because I can only imagine what it was like to try to explain to your children that
Yeah.
you had a very, very serious cancer.
Yes. My youngest was 8 at the time of my diagnosis, and the hardest thing I'd ever did was tell my children I had cancer. Hardest thing I've ever done.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
What was their reaction?
They had mixed reactions. They all
Yes.
have different personalities. My oldest was with me when I went to have my biopsy, because I didn't think it was going to be any big deal.
And how old was she then?
I think she was in 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
So she was with me, and I think because she was with me during that phase, she did not react as badly as the other one. My middle child came home from summer camp and knew something. Children are so observant and so resilient. She knew something was going on in our household and something wasn't right. And she said, "What is going on? Everybody's acting weird." And then I just sat down and said, "Remember that test Mommy had?" She just started bawling her eyes out. And so I didn't even have to tell her. She knew. But it was a hard day. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't wish it upon anybody. And then I think about women who aren't able to have children and are diagnosed with breast cancer and have to go through chemo, and they have to make a decision about, am I ever going to be able to have children?
Right.
Freezing your eggs and all of this. So it's tough. It's tough. So
Well, you did a very good job explaining that in the midst of an invasion of people under this size.
they
who
just went
who
right
just
by
poured
us.
right past us, and I'm not even going to attempt to tell you how cute they were, because they truly were
Yeah.
some of the cutest kids I've seen in a long
I
time.
think they're all gone, or we could grab one and bring them over to talk about their
Well,
experience
and
here.
maybe Javier will bring one back so we can hear more about Global Game Changers, or even before they leave, which would be a lot of fun.
And
too,
in the
I'm
meantime,
sure.
can I ask Caroline to tell us more about, there's a mural being painted at Oxmoor right now, and
Yes.
then maybe some of the other fundraisers. And
Yes.
don't forget to go ahead and comment. There's only a few people that have commented, so you've got a great chance to win 2 tickets to the lounge, which begins at 9 on January 26th at our Masquerade Ball.
Yep.
A great party and fun, and those are worth $75 each.
Well,
so
and
Janet, I see you're watching. Comment for tickets.
yeah,
My
I mean,
friend
there
Janet
are
from high
a
school.
lot of people. Kim Kelly's watching. Kelly Rose is watching. You guys just write us something about your experience with art, your experience with cancer, your experience with watching Take It From Tara, your experience with anything that appeals to you. Write it down.
Or a thumbs up.
Type it. Thumbs up. Make it a comment,
Emoji.
because if you comment,
Oh,
she'll put you in the
thumbs
bag.
up. Yeah, thumbs up in the comments, I should say.
Yeah, in the comments. That's right.
Just say
And
I'm watching.
Maybe
We just
you
wanna
will
know
be
you're
lucky,
there.
and Mary Kay and Caroline will draw your name at the end of this show, and which is flying by the way. I just have to call attention to the fact that it's 4:45.
Oh,
and
it is. Oh, and also,
we have a lot to talk
I was worried
about.
that we wouldn't have enough.
No,
during an
no,
hour.
you'll never ever
because
run
she's
out
amazing.
of time.
and some people worry a little bit about the attire for the evening because you hear
Yeah, so it's-
Masquerade Ball and you
Yeah.
think I've got to get a ball gown.
It's cocktail attire, so
Okay.
you can wear long or short,
Okay.
whatever your heart desires. I will be in a short dress this year, and I like to keep it comfortable. And men can wear suits, tuxedos if they want to. It's not necessary, but so it's going to be a fun evening. And we're going to provide a lot of hope to people that are facing metastatic breast cancer, and hopefully raise the most we've raised so far.
What are you aiming for? What's your goal this year? Do you want to tell me?
We would love to raise $200,000.
Okay.
So we have 250 seated for dinner, and then we open up the after party to anyone who wants to participate. And they'll also have an opportunity to give at the event through the silent auction or Kendra Scott or the Bourbon Pool if those are still available, if they're not sold out. And of course the Wall of Hope.
Oh my gosh, this
So.
is going to be great. How much are the tickets?
Tickets to the dinner are $200 a piece.
Okay.
And the lounge ticket dance only portion is $75 a piece.
Okay, so if you wanted to buy the whole Megillah,
$200 a piece.
perfect. Looks
Are full tables still available if somebody wants
We
to buy
have
a
a
table?
couple of tables available. Probably the last I checked, we had 2 tables as of yesterday. And so if you want a table, I would go ahead and get that.
Yes.
Because we will sell out
Look,
between now and
right.
next Saturday.
sharp.
Yeah.
But don't stress out about the attire. Everybody's got a cocktail
Yeah,
dress
don't
or
be.
suit in their closet.
Sure.
Don't not come because, you
Right.
you think
Because
you have
you
to have
don't
a
look
ball
like
gown.
the stage in Phantom of the Opera during Masquerade. Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have
yeah.
to go that far.
It's
Right.
all for fun.
And
it's
it
all
is
about
fun.
the fun evening and just coming out and being a part of a really great event. And it'll be a great time.
It will be a great time. So when you get to a point in your life where you're thinking, I just can't possibly have one more thing go wrong, and then it does,
Yeah.
what do you reach down to get? What do you have to go down deep inside to find to get through something like the cancer that you experienced, Caroline?
That is a tough question. You know, there are days where I have really not wanted to get out of bed, to be honest. Before my breast cancer diagnosis, we experienced a bit of a tragic event in our family. My youngest son was born with special needs, and so I spent the first 7 years of his life advocating for him and really trying to find the best resources available to get him both a good education and the best medical care.
Yes.
We were told that he probably would never walk, speak, any of those things. But so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I had that exact thought, like what else could happen to us?
Right.
Along that way, I have met many, many people who have been through the same or worse
Yes.
than what I have been through. So I always say, If you are in that spot and you're experiencing that thought of what else can I go through, you know, life is not easy for anybody.
That's right.
And you just have to find the light in the very dark world that we live in.
And you never know what another person's going through.
That's right. That's right. So part of the reason Twisted Pink was started is to provide more hope in the dark areas of cancer. And there's a lot of dark. But we're going to light it up on Saturday,
Absolutely.
the 26th. Yeah.
We have some of the best cancer treatment centers in the world.
Yes.
Right here in our little burg.
Yes, we do.
And the research that is being done is going to be funded by this Twisted Pink Masquerade, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun, but it's also going to serve a very important purpose. You said that you had a wonderful speaker last year, Jennifer, who is
Yes.
going to be honored this year.
Yes.
Who is speaking this year?
Erin Banton from Michigan is supposed to speak, but she told me yesterday she's in the hospital.
Oh.
So we're waiting to hear back on what those results are, and you know that's the life of a metastatic patient. You're good one day, and one day you're not. So kind of up in the air. Our backup plan is to either Skype her in or have Jennifer speak again. So, and she's a fabulous speaker.
Absolutely.
She can do the job really well. We have actually 10 metastatic patients that attend this event with a guest for no charge because of our sponsors.
Yes.
And I'd like to say that the James Graham Brown Cancer Center is our title sponsor this year.
Wonderful.
We've got Baptist Health and Scapecchio on as sponsors, Norton Healthcare. I think this is the first year we've had all local hospitals sponsor the event.
Wonderful.
So that's great.
Yes.
And then we have Lily Oncology, who is bringing their art on canvas, which is produced by cancer patients or somebody related to someone with cancer, and they will be displaying the art on canvas throughout the event, and that's all part of Lily Oncology, so we're happy to have them.
That's fantastic. You look like you want to jump in and say something.
No, I was just thinking.
The
Did
wheels
we
are
talk
turning.
about the gentleman? You did talk about the
watercolor.
live
Yeah, the
painting
Tom,
that'll be
yes,
going
I
on.
talked about live
that was,
watercolor,
That's
yes.
really neat. Now, the live auction, you have to be here, right?
Yes, you have to be here for the live.
Okay, because
But
earlier you
but
mentioned.
the online auction is cool, and
Yeah.
it's relatively new in the nonprofit world, and it gives you the opportunity, if you're not in attendance, to be able to go online, view all of the cool silent auction items that are set up here so that everybody can also bid on them when they're here. And raise money that way, even if you're home in your bunny slippers and your your fur bathrobe, and then faux fur bathrobe, and then I fixed that real quick, didn't I? Oh my gosh, that just
I don't
harkens
think
back to it.
too many people have fur bathrobes. Just
You never know; they could be faux fur. Stephen, you've got
maybe
one.
Steven.
I do.
I don't know.
It's actually a
What are you talking
onesie.
about?
It's a onesie. It's not-
Unforgettable. Paige Bratcher says, "Can you add me to the drawing? Great work,
yes.
you beautiful people. We love it."
Yes, yes,
Carlos
yes.
Alberto
I'm
Barroquillo
not
is
seeing that.
watching. Linda Herrick Hillenbrand. Hey, Linda, if you comment and you win the ticket,
I need
you
your
can bring
phone.
me
I'm
as
not
your
seeing
date.
those names.
I'm going to be double timing you with Rebecca Eves if she wins.
Yeah.
This is so funny. These are all my wonderful girlfriends who will just do anything for each other and who
So
have
nice.
suffered such losses. Linda's husband died a couple of years ago, Jim, and my mother died last year, and we've all experienced this. This at this age, these things are happening unexpectedly. And Linda's husband was you said the bright shining light.
Yeah.
Jim Hillenbrand had to be one of the most positive, happy people that this city has ever known, and he's been a hugely missed figure, much like we were talking about with Debbie Scapecchio, just a big life force being taken out of the world. And I'm so glad that your light is still shining and that you're doing so beautifully.
Thank you.
And you just said a few minutes ago that, and I just commented too, you never know what's going on with somebody.
You don't.
Sometimes the injury is on the outside and sometimes it's on the inside.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's people with depression are not always visibly depressed, and you can't tell sometimes, and people with cancer are not always you can see a broken arm, in other words, you can see a broken leg.
Well, and that's the thing with a lot of cancer patients. The stage 4 patients look very, very healthy.
God.
And so it's hard because Some days they feel really good, some days they don't. They're in and out of treatment, and you know, it's hard for people to understand or be empathetic towards their disease because they don't look sick.
Right.
They haven't lost their hair.
Right.
A lot of times their hair is grown back. So you know, that's the tough part about stage 4 breast cancer.
Did you lose your hair?
I did.
But it's all grown back.
It's all grown back.
That's
yeah.
amazing. Was it different?
It was different when it grew back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was darker and gray when it grew back.
And now it's blonde?
And now I have it colored.
Magic.
I thought you were going to tell
And
me
it was really curly when it grew back.
Miraculous thing.
Was it really?
Chemotherapy.
I've heard-
It was really curly when it grew back. So
That's
You know,
amazing.
it took a year or so, a year and a half, for it to really kind of grow out to like the bob length, and it was. I wasn't too traumatized by losing my hair. I actually shaved my head when it began to fall out, and I don't know if it was because of my stage, and I was more worried about living
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
my hair loss.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody.
Sure.
My mother-in-law's looking forward to it. She said, I can't wait. She goes, I'm going to get all kinds of cool wigs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So she was, and I, you know, it's also her trying to be funny, and she and I joke
Sure.
around like that all the time. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to get you a pink one with a bob.
There you
So-
go.
Well, and you know what's cool is that I have seen more and more women who are just going on
Yeah.
Masquerade. And I love that because
Yeah.
it's a sign of empowerment.
Yes.
And they're showing the world that it's okay not to have to put a bandana on it and to choose not to wear a wig when they want to. And the wigs that I see are funnier and funnier.
Yeah.
There's some of the anime ones, you know. You
That's
just said
exactly
the
what
pink
she's
bob.
yep.
Yes.
I love that creativity, and I love the fact that people are feeling freer as a result of the awareness
Yes.
to be able to express themselves in that kind of manner.
There's
'Cause,
no
you know,
shame
what's
in
all
being
about it.
sick.
That's right.
Right.
That's,
You know,
that's where the stigma thing comes
Yeah.
in.
Right.
And that's why we're talking about this now, as I talk so frequently about mental illness, and there just does not have to be stigma attached to things that are a part of life. You know, I mean, first it was being gay, and then it was being black, and then it was being whatever. There's always stigma. There's somebody's got to poke at you for something.
Right.
And we don't need to do that, especially with having cancer. I mean, good Lord, you don't know that it's going to hit you. You don't choose to have it hit you. And you definitely need the support of the people who are around you. And too many times, people run because
Right.
they don't understand.
Right. So, how are we on time? Because I
Okay,
wanted to go over
go
some
ahead.
of the statistics.
Go
of
over the statistics.
breast cancer. So
We've got 4 minutes.
you hear a lot of times, you know, the 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer in a lifetime. People hear that a lot through educational awareness programs, but 1 in 1,000 men will get breast cancer. And a lot of times when men are diagnosed, they're diagnosed late stage because they're not looking for breast cancer like women are.
Right.
I personally found a lump in my breast by accident. I wasn't checking. So I found it by accident and went immediately to the doctor. And by the time I was diagnosed, it was stage 3. We had immediate surgery and chemo, radiation, and I continue to be on a medication to hopefully prevent the cancer from coming back. So 20 to 30% of all breast cancer patients will experience metastatic disease, and only 7% of funding goes to metastatic breast cancer. And so we want to change that, and you know, we partner with other organizations, and we were talking about hair loss, and it dawned on me I have to mention Hope Scarves, because
Yes.
they are an amazing nonprofit that is international and located here in Louisville. They provide scarves and stories of hope to cancer patients.
I love that.
Not only breast cancer, but all cancer patients. And we partner with their organization to help fund metastatic breast cancer research. And last year, together with another organization in Connecticut, we were able to put $1.2 million into the hands of researchers with a
Wow.
match.
Amazing.
Collectively with all the money that we raised together. And so Twisted Pink will continue to work with Hope Scarves next year. We're looking at doing something for clinical trials in the state.
Good.
The state of Kentucky is one of the highest, has one of the highest cancer rates in the country. So not enough people participate in clinical trials, so we want to do something to change that. So we're going to be working towards that goal.
I wish that we could finally become first in the country for something other than
Yes.
obesity, cancer deaths,
Lack of animal laws.
Yeah.
yes, lack of animal laws. Maybe we could outlaw bestiality.
We're
We're
trying.
one of 5 states that doesn't.
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, thank
Right.
you for that reaction. So anyway, back off of our soapbox here. Mary Kay and I have the same opinions about that. We love Twisted Pink, and I love
you.
Caroline Johnson. I'm so
Thank
glad.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming on and talking to us about it. And we love Stephen Bowling and the Speed. Fabulous place. You know, you and I go back quite a ways.
A long time. I was at the Center for Women and Families
Oh
up
yeah,
there,
a long
and
time ago.
yeah,
He said to me, "God, it's been years," and I said,
has
"Don't
been.
say that because then it shows that we're aging. It's just been
it's
minutes."
the white and the gray in my beard and hair
As
that
Eric
I
at the
stopped coloring.
Champagnery says, "It's been a minute." I love
been a
him.
minute.
I need to go there. I haven't been there
You
yet.
gotta go to
amazing.
the Champagnery.
I do.
Charlotte and
We should
Eric
all go right after.
and
Don't you
Brad
think?
have made this fabulous place. Well, it's Monday, so I don't think they're open on Monday. But
Oh,
they're
They'll open
Charlotte
for
would
us.
open it for
But-
us. I'm in prayer group with
That
Charlotte.
is, oh, there you go. That's perfect.
It's great.
Another great
I love it.
Louisville fabulous center of attention in Clifton, right across from the Silver Dollar. This Champagnery opened by Eric Wentworth, who's one of the partners in the Hub, and his wonderful aunt and uncle, Charlotte and Brad Stengel. And she's an architect, and she developed the inside of this beautiful old building at the corner there and created this fantastic place that people can go and enjoy their bubbly, and they have a wine list, and they have charcuterie. and
Amazing charcuterie.
I don't know how we went from breast cancer to the Champagnery, but you know
So
what?
we're celebrating.
We're
Twisted
celebrating.
We are. We're
everything.
celebrating, yes.
We're celebrating
Pink
everything.
champagne.
Yeah,
Do some
there you go.
rosé.
They can do a pink
Champagne.
champagne drink in honor of the
Yeah.
Twisted Pink.
That would be
There we
great.
go.
Hope you're listening, guys.
The money
So,
proceeds could go to.
There you
Twisted
go.
Pink.
There you go. You're hired.
Mary Kay Korfhage, who is wonderful. We appreciate you so much, and thank you
Thank
for your
you.
advocacy of
Thank you.
animals. And Caroline Johnson, and this good-looking guy here, Stephen Bowling. Live from the Speed, and we are going to be back on the night, because I'm sure I'm going to have a date. You want to make a drawing?
Yes.
Do you wanna- do
if
we have
anybody,
Do we have
Oh, it's
everybody's
time.
name in there?
Danielle
Yes.
Ames.
I wish
Danielle
we had-
Ames, who is with the. Hi,
Oh.
Pam Rogers is watching. Yay.
oh well,
Danielle
Pam,
Ames is
comment
with
quickly.
the Kentuckiana Alpha Paws. She's a dog trainer, and she's
Oh.
training veterans how to train dogs for veterans.
That's great.
Awesome.
I know.
So many good ideas.
Did you put her in?
I'm putting her
okay,
in.
here we go.
Anybody else?
Shake, shake, shake. Those are all the comments we have. We've had 8 contenders.
Caroline
There
gets
could
to
be
draw.
more. Excited. Get excited, everybody. Let's have a drum roll.
All right, somebody
Drum
is
roll,
coming to the
please.
event.
Somebody's
have the
coming to the
guard
event,
to make
and it
sure
might
this
as well
is,
be me. Oh yeah, the
Christian will
security
probably
guy's
be there.
back.
So I
Christian.
have the name,
Christian's going to be my date.
and it is Rebecca.
Oh yes, I have a
Rebecca
date.
Eves.
Rebecca Eves.
Not self-serving at
Not
all.
self-serving at all, though. It's okay. Oh, that poor Glenda says, "Pick me, pick me."
Rebecca could take Linda.
Rebecca could take Glenda and leave me out in the cold. It'll be okay.
So we'll
anyway,
contact Rebecca and let her know
Yes.
that she's on the list
awesome.
to get in at 9 o'clock.
Way to go. Good job, Rebecca. Thank you. Okay,
and don't
guys.
bring any dogs with you. Well, maybe.
Do not bring. But you know what? The Aero Fund does amazing work, and we love them very
Amazing.
much. We're so grateful to have them. Thank you guys for watching. Christian,
Thank you.
thank you for
Thank
being
you
a
for
security
having
guard
us.
and for ending our broadcast. Have a wonderful day, guys.